All in once again. You're listening to World Combat Sports. Man, what's good, everyone? It's Saturday. And what does that say? It's fight day. Once again, boxing MMA. You know what it is? You're looking at the thumbnail. That's just one of the fights that's going on. You know, big news. Operation Hurt Business. That's what's going on today. Fight night. We have Curtis Razor Blades going against Derek the Black Beast Lewis. And then, of course, you have Miguel Burchelt and Oscar Valdez. Listen, I don't know if it's just me, but that top ranked photo of Burchelt and Valdez, man, it looks like Burchelt is much bigger than Oscar Valdez. Like they're in a whole nother way. He's in a whole nother weight class. You know what I'm saying? So I look forward to seeing the fight card because once again we have Elvis Rodriguez on there. Elvis Rodriguez is a blooming boxing prospect right now. He's not a star, he's a prospect. But it's a lot that's riding behind Elvis Rodriguez in a division where you have some heavy hitters. You do. I know his knockout streak is what it is, somewhat the same of Edgar Berlanga, but both of these guys are basically in the chute to step up their competition. But you have to say to yourself, right? Elvis Rodriguez, man, 143. He weighed in at 143. It's only a matter of time before Elvis Rodriguez is going to have to commit to moving up to welterweight. Real talk. I know what he's trying to do. Rodriguez wants to play the guitar at 140 as long as he can and pick up a strap and then move up to 147 because dude is huge for the weight division. He's a motherfucking problem. I'm not gonna lie. Elvis Rodriguez, man, cool name to go along with what he's doing in the sport of boxing. You know, if you look at his record, he has 100. I mean, you know, they don't never want to give you 100. You know, if you have a draw, but really he has 100% knockout KO ratio right now. You know what I'm saying? Because he has 10 wins, 10 knockouts. But of course, he had the draw in his career already. And, you know, the draw was back in 2019 against Joaquin Chavez. So if you look at his last fight was October 2020. All right. Cameron Creel. It was a stoppage, 17 and 16 and 3. Now, a lot of you are going to say, well, looking at his previous opponents, and we're just gauging off the winning records of his previous opponents. You know, you have the 6-2, the 6-0, 4-4, 4-2, 5-3, 4-3, 9-2. That's where Elvis wants to keep it. Because, you know, as he continue to stack on these wins, he wants people to look at his record with respect. You know, 17 and 16, I look at that like, well, that's probably the only one that was willing to step in and fight his ass. And now he's going in there against Luis Alberto Verón, 18-2. Hey, man, you know what it is, man. It's a winning record, first of all. It's a winning record. It's Argentinian fighter. They have a record for being tough. You know, Argentinian fighters have a record for being tough, right? His last fight, Verón, was January 2020. He went in there and lost to a 17-0 fighter. Okay? He lost to UD. But the good thing about his record is his losses have been unanimous decision. Now, this complements Elvis Rodriguez and where he's going in the sport of boxing, because if he goes in here and stops this guy, I mean, he doesn't, this guy, you know, looking at his record, he doesn't have a stellar record, but he's 18-2. Both his losses are UD. So what I'm saying is, if Elvis goes in here and have a dominating performance, it's only going to shine that much brighter on him moving forward. You know what I'm saying? But there's a huge problem that lie in wait for Elvis Rodriguez. And that is, what exactly is he trying to do? You know what I'm saying? What are you trying to do? What is your What is your goals? You know, what's going on with your body, your team? What are they telling you? Because, you know, the only way I see him sliding in there for a belt, it would have to be the WBA route, something like that, or work himself up the chain and stay in lightweight the entire year of 2021 and the first half of 22. The reason why I'm saying that is, you know, who is he gonna be in a fight with up there? You know, with the belts all tied up. Who is Elvis Rodriguez gonna be in there with? And you got some killers at 140, yo. I'm telling you, you got some killers. And the way and how big Elvis Rodriguez is, I'm just curious to know, like, who is he gonna even fight to put himself into the rankings in the top 15? It's such a tough goal, man. He's a well fit. He fits well in the 140-pound division, but you have, you know, you even have Sabriel Matias, if that's how you pronounce his name. You know, man, Antonio DeMarco there, Regis Prograis, Victor Postal. You know, when you start climbing into that top 10 and you play around in that yard, you're gonna run into some big names in there. You know what I'm saying? We're still waiting on the Maurice Hooker and Virgil Ortiz situation. You have Jose Pedraza. It has some solid names up at the top, man. That's gonna slow him down a little bit. So him weighing in at 143, I'm just saying to myself, like, is he struggling with his weight? Is it his nutritionist? What is it? Because he looks he looks in damn good shape every time he's in the ring. So just keep your eye out on this shit right here. Keep your eye on Elvis Rodriguez, man. You know, dude has a astounding depth of talent. He's exciting to watch. I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of, you know, if I'm looking at it, I'm not even gonna compare them. But you know, it's kind of like him and Edgar Berlanga are somewhat on the same path. Like they have equal wins to their knockouts, and people have a close eye on these cats. And listen, they're gonna continue to get used to them knocking people out. You know what I'm saying? People are gonna get used to seeing them do that. But when it stops, if it stops with them with a very exciting performance, it ain't gonna matter. People ain't gonna talk too much. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna say, okay, it is what it is. You know, he boxed, he got it in. But I like Elvis Rodriguez. He's a southpaw, man, and he has a bright future in the sport. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, keep that shit popping. Tone in the building. Salute to you. Two-time, what's good? Salute. Mark Nash. I'm picking Derek Lewis for the UFC fight card. And boxing Burchelt, Dominic Fazil, and I expect Bronin to win, but I'm disappointed he missed weight. Well, shout out to Mark Nash in the building, breaking beats, man. Salute to you. Yeah, I got to go with the Black Beast. I'm going to break that down just a little bit between Curtis Blaze and Derek the Black Beast. And, you know, Burchelt, I'm going for Oscar Valdez. He does have a tall challenge ahead of him going in there against the bigger Burchelt. And I absolutely do not have Dominique Brazil. I got to go Otto Wallin on this one until Dominique Brazil shows us that he can go in there and contend with somebody with the likes of Otto Wallin, who put that hurt on Tyson Fury. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm just going off performances. You know what I'm saying? And Adrian Broner having to drop like 40 pounds, right? Dropping all that weight, man. Just drinking, you know. I mean, don't get mad at the media because we report on the shit. I told people a long time ago, I even posted pictures, you know, probably some of his people got mad at that shit. But, you know, I still got the pictures on the hard drive. You know what I'm saying? Well, I took a picture of Adrian and you know, you couldn't even find a motherfucking six pack with a microscope. You know what I'm saying? Hell no. You know, he was out there having fun, eating what he wanted to eat, and he didn't care, man. He was doing Adrian. I do have him picked to defeat Santiago for sure, but this is only the beginning of a comeback. And you're saying to yourself, okay, how is it a comeback for Adrian? Because Adrian, he needs a win. He's been out the sport for 2 years. He needs a win. He needs it now, tonight. And he needs another win the next time. And he has legality that he needs to get taken care of. I want Adrian to take care of this legality so he can really focus on the art, the sweet science, so he can box and be happy. I don't think he's boxing and he's happy right now because he has legal, court orders to take care of with the money he's earning from these fights. So that's the price you pay to play sometime. And you play with the wrong people, hey, it's gonna be repercussions. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on. King Mitch in the building, salute to you. Say, Combat, what up? Tom Brown, 140 is going to be a deep competitive weight class in the next year. I agree, man, especially with the names that's moving up from 135. I totally agree there, Tone. 140 is going to be hot. It's hot right now. It's just the belts are tied up. The belts are tied up right now. That's all it is. The belts are tied up. Once these belts go away, we got Jose Cepeda still there. Everybody was ranting and raving about Cepeda and Baranchik fight. We got Cepeda that's up there. Regis Ruga Prograis, Victor Postal. You know what I'm saying? Ismael Barroso and Mario Barrios. I saw him fight. He was on the Tank undercard last time. Jack Catterall is still up there. I mean, you have some solid names until Elvis Rodriguez faced some of these big names and put himself in the rankings, the top 10, not the top 15, top 10. Then we can start looking at him better. But in order for him to start getting these fights, it's going to take some months, man. You know why it's going to be fucked up for Elvis? Because he's a big 140 pounder. I can actually say Elvis is a weight bully at 140. Real talk. It's going to get very difficult for him to cut down to 140. Seriously. He's going to have to make a decision. If he can't slide in there in the WBA somewhere and pick up a strap before he move up to 147, then so be it. You need to start focusing on 147, which is going to be very tough for Rodriguez. 154, 160, 168. Those will be the divisions that Elvis Rodriguez compete in the future. As tall and big as he is, you have to look at it. This dude right here, though he's 5'10", he's much bigger, than the 140 pound division. You know what I'm saying? So he might indeed fight at the 47, 54, 60. At least those three divisions. We don't know yet. I know a lot of people going for Miguel Berchelt. I get it, man. I like this entire fight as a package. Seriously, when it comes to matchups like this, Top Rank, shout out to Top Rank. I like this matchup finally. Berchelt, the fight was postponed due to COVID-19. They back. And I look forward to seeing this fight for sure. I just like Valdez as a fighter in general. He's very tough. I know people love to bring up his previous fights like they always do. They always talk about Scott Quigg, what he do. That's fighting, y'all. Come on, man. That's just like every time a fighter gets injured, people bring up the fighter who did it. But if the fighter who did it lost, then who really won? You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, show some love, man. People always bringing up fighters who punished or inflicted some type of damage, but they lost. They lost, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in this particular case with his jaw being broken and everything, man, come on. Oscar Valdez, tough motherfucker, dog. I need for you to shine above the lights tonight there, Oscar. I need for you to shine, baby. I got that money on Oscar. I need for Oscar Valdez to shine tonight. I need him to show up and show the people that it's boxing a sweet sign. So you can take a fighter like Miguel Burchelt, the champion, and you can execute a solid game plan. My mind and my heart is with Oscar Valdez and taking this win. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I got. That's just what I got going on right now. I don't know what everybody else got going on, but I'm going for Oscar Valdez for sure. So, hold on for a second. About to get to these comments. So, people trying to get me to go to a fight card. Oscar Valdez is 28-0, man, 22 knockouts. Okay. His last win was a 10th round TKO Jason Velez. You know what I'm saying? He was able to drop Velez in the 5th round, and I think a couple times in the 10th. So yeah, but people like to look at his fight with Adam Lopez. You know what I'm saying? When he was dropped in round 2. You know what I'm saying? And then he put Lopez down in the later rounds. People love to talk about the Adam Lopez fight and the Scott Quigg, but you have to also understand what happened in the results. He won the fight, period. That's what you have to worry about. D Hodges in the building. Salute to you, my brother. What's good? What's good? You know, a lot of people have Burchelt there, Hodges. I get it. A lot of people playing it safe. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are playing it safe, and they want to make the safe pick with Burchelt. The only thing I can tell you is I'm sticking to what I know. I'm sticking to my pick of Miguel Burchelt. Period. Now, what about this right here? We have UFC Vegas 19 in the building. All right. And we have the one and only Curtis Blaydes and Derek Lewis. The good thing about this fight right here is that it's another UFC, and you know the fight card is pretty decent though. But you have 2 heavyweights. It's always good when the heavyweights headline because somebody have the real opportunity of getting stopped. You know what I'm saying? Or you have some drama. It's not going to be very quick, fast when it comes to moving around and speed. It's going to definitely be tactical when it comes down to it. So the main event is pretty much the big part of the card. You do have Olenek that's there who Derek Lewis stopped. You know what I'm saying? And people didn't think that was going to happen, but he stopped him. You have the pit bull himself, Andre Arlovski, on the card. Some other big names. You have Luis Pena, and Drakkar Klose, who's fighting one another in the lightweight division, which is the 155-pound division. Luis Pena, man, I was very surprised he was subbed out in his last loss. I was very surprised, man, because he's a long, lanky fighter. I don't know if he had underlying issues that was going on outside the cage, but look for him to come back, man. Chase Skelly, he's back in there against Jamal Emmers. That's gonna be a good fight, and these gonna be some of the first fights on the card. But this is indeed the UFC Fight Night, going down tonight. Ultimate Fighting Championship venue, UFC Apex Center, Las Vegas. They have a total of 14 fights. 14 fights, y'all. That's why I fuck with the damn Muddy Flats, man. 14 fights. You have to look at it. If you're a student, look, I'm telling everybody. I know, look, it's more channels out there beginning to talk about mixed martial arts, but I don't want them to talk about mixed martial arts as an overlay and be afraid to have a full live on mixed martial arts. You need to start really learning how to break that shit down and look at previous fights just like you do boxing, so you can adequately speak on fighters that's in the cage and who they fought before, and do those mental reflections so you can give the fight fans a little bit more than what they asked for. But we all know the one that's been doing it. It don't, when I had 2 views on here in the World Cup Bad Sports, I've been talking about mixed martial arts and boxing forever. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about this fight right here. Curtis Blades is 14-2. Derek Lewis is 24-7. Now, Curtis Blades, most recent, I'm going to pull up his. Hold up for a second. I'm gonna do you one better. I'm gonna do you one better. Hold up. I'm gonna share screen right now. First of all, let me take this shit down. I'm gonna share screen. So here we have Curtis Blades 14-2, y'all. All right. He's 30. So you know how some people say in boxing, they owe this, that, and the other. In mixed martial arts, it's not so much because you don't move around as much. It is a variety of levels that you have to train. Absolutely. But also tactically, like a wrestler like Blades, he may not be moving around a lot, especially if he's able to get the takedown early. He may just work his ground and pound. So that's less wear and tear on his legs and all that. You get the picture, right? So let's go to his most serious losses. The priority of the losses. He has one name to his losses, Francis Ngannou. This was supposed to be the fight that he step up in opposition in Ngannou, because Ngannou was coming up too. You know what I'm saying? So Ngannou was able to then land some hard punches. Like Curtis Blade had the wrong game plan to go in here with a heavy-handed puncher like Francis Ngannou. And his eye was so fucked up back in 2016 that it was the fight was ended in round 2 from a doctor stoppage. After that, he has Olenek as a win, just like Derek Lewis. Okay. Mark Hunt, the legend, K1 fighter. Man, dude been in the sport of comebacks forever and a day. Alistair Overeem, come on, man. Look at this record. He's a legend too, man. He's 43-16. I know in boxing, people will look at that shit like, oh, man, that's garbage. But Alistair, man, his kickboxing Grand Prix, his mixed martial arts, the old school Alistair. This man has over 50 MMA fights, man. That is crazy. But anyway, he has a win over Alistair Overeem. You know what I'm saying? Elbows from the guard. And this is the one where people was just looking for Curtis Blade to step in there and make a statement. Francis Ngannou is on the rise. Now they get the rematch. Man, a lot of people was looking for a very good outing between these two. And Francis stopped him in round 1, y'all. Stop this guy. He says, level, shouty. I know you're a big dude. And Curtis Blade is a big dude, but so is Francis Ngannou, man. Look at their records. 10-1 and 11-3. Look at the record. Check this out. They fought November 2018, right? Look at this. Let's go back to November 2018. They fought November 2018. So this is Francis Ngannou. But peep this out, though. All these fights right here, from the time he came into the UFC and working his way up, you had the Pitbull Orlovsky and Alistair Overeem. This is 2017, and then January. He was coming off a loss to Stipe Miocic, and then he lost in July 2018 to Derek Lewis. So when he stepped in there with Curtis Blade, who's right here, Francis Ngannou was coming off 2 freaking losses, people. That was the time for Curtis Blade to step up and stop the train, because people was like, oh man, Francis Ngannou, he's a hype train. He's this, he's that. So Curtis Blade, that was the perfect time for him to step up and get the job done. He didn't get it done, man. So this fight tonight, man, is one of those fights where both of these guys need to have the best showing possible. Let's go to Derek Lewis. He's 24-7. And check this out. He too, just like Francis Ngannou, he ran into those back-to-back L's. You know what I'm saying? Curtis Blade, his losses was he had wins in between that. You know what I'm saying? It was gapped in between his losses. But right now, Derek Lewis, he's been working himself back from that Daniel Cormier submission in round 2, which was easy work because look, every time it comes to Derek Lewis gets taken down and it takes him forever to make it back to his feet. Now he's been working through it. He's been putting in more mat time, working on his BJJ and all that. So I got to give a salute to Derek Lewis because some of these guys thought they was just going to go in there and hold him down, and that wasn't the case. He ran in here against JDS, Junior Dos Santos, stopped him with punches in round 2. So those back-to-back losses, right? He goes in there with Ivanov, Latifi, and Olenek. You know, common opponents. Okay, common opponents. Curtis Blade faced Olenek, and so did Derek Lewis. So both of them have that common opponent. But what they need to do tonight is win, goddammit. Especially Derek Lewis. Because this is what's about to happen. Stipe Miocic is going to be facing Francis Ngannou. All right. So Stipe is the man right now. And you're talking about the heavyweight division. In order for them to even get a slide, they're going to have a superb performance. Because you know Dana White, the matchmakers, they can make anything they want. They can say, oh, man, let's make this fight happen. Let's make that fight. But if Francis Ngannou loses against Stipe again, then it's going to be one of those situations where it's going to take a while before Francis come back into the title picture because he already been in there. Let's go back to Francis Ngannou. Not to deter from the topic. Let's go back to Francis Ngannou. Peep his schedule out. He has Stipe Miocic. Miocic coming up. Hold up. So he has Stipe Miocic coming up in March, right? That's next month. So therefore, if Francis Ngannou doesn't get a win over Stipe Miocic, it's going to take him a while before he gets into the title picture once again. It is possible for the winner of Derek Lewis and Curtis Blade to potentially face Stipe Miocic. Listen, Derek Lewis has a win over Francis Ngannou, but Curtis Blade has 2 losses over Francis Ngannou. I mean, when facing Francis Ngannou. But the winner of this fight can potentially find themselves into a title fight. That's all up to when John Jones decides to return, because I do believe John Jones is going to be a serious threat once he returns to competition in the heavyweight division. But the winner of this fight may potentially be able to step in there for a title shot if Stipe don't retire. It might be a fight for the vacant. I don't know. I seriously doubt Dana White, if Stipe decides to retire, I seriously doubt Dana White is going to say, well, you know, John Jones, who hasn't had a fight at heavyweight, he's going to say, okay, go ahead, John. We're going to give you your Dinas Ugas treatment. You have mail. They don't do that shit. They don't do that shit in the motherfucking UFC. They don't do that. They don't have mail carriers. So somebody's going to have to fight for the vacant title. Seriously. And that may indeed be possibly the winner of this fight Derek Lewis and Curtis Blade, or if Stipe Miocic decides to hang around just a little bit and fight the winner of Blaze Lewis, they may fight. And then it might come down to a point where the winner of that fight will face John Jones upon his return. That's how important this fight is. It's very important because these are the top names in the division. You know, these are top names is in the division. Blaze has lost to Francis Ngannou twice, but Derek Lewis has a win over him. Even though it was a motherfucking boring fight, he still has the win on his record. Alexander in the building. Jade, what's good? Why is nobody challenging John Jones? He moved up and get an immediate title shot. Okay, good question, Jade. Good question. The reason is because John Jones has earned in what he's been able to do, right? In the sport of mixed martial arts. He is considered the GOAT at the end of the day. That's John Jones. So for him to be the champion, he's doing almost the same thing that Daniel Cormier did there, J8. Daniel Cormier was the light heavyweight champion, and he moved up to face Stipe Miocic. You know, I mean, DC had been doing DC. His only Achilles heel was John Jones when he was at light heavyweight. But when it comes down to it, let me get up out of here. Hold on for a second. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. But good question, Jade. Here's Daniel Cormier, 22-3. So Jay asked about DC. So you know, DC's coming off this no contest with John Jones, which John Jones knocked him out with a head kick. He was basically thought it was John Jones was going to the mid part of the body, and he, you know, really DC has a bad problem with leaning to one side. So DC put that right hand up. John Jones came over the top and clipped him. All right. So that's a light heavyweight, of course. So look at this fight right here. This is light heavyweight. All right. Volkan Ozdemir. Shut him down, ground and pound. Shut him down. Now check this out. You asking me the question about John Jones moving up. This is a light heavyweight, J8. His first fight with Stipe Miocic is what? A U.S. heavyweight championship. So that's just a piece of knowledge to you that it can happen. It has happened. John Jones is moving up is nothing new. DC was able to do it. Now John Jones is going to be able to do it. But the difference between them, DC was an active mixed martial artist, and John Jones chose to relinquish his belt and go into a semi-retirement. He's going to come back and get a retirement. So for those of you that not understanding how this works, it's happened before. Moving straight up and getting a title shot, the Mikey Garcia effect. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's a poor analogy because, you know, hey, it's boxing, MMA, but yeah, it's the DC effect. DC did the same thing, and some other people was able to do the same thing too. You know what I'm saying? Alexander in the building, salute to you. What's good? Everybody in the building. Stipe beat Ngannou again. Stipe beat Ngannou again, and Jones then retired GOAT status. Right now in the heavyweight division for Stipe, it will put him as one of the best heavyweights. He is one of the best heavyweights to do it. And you know, let's be honest. Those are tough fights. Those are tough names you're talking about. Stipe defeating Francis Ngannou again after Francis Ngannou losing to Derek Lewis. You know what I'm saying? After Ngannou losing to Stipe Miocic. I don't know what he's going to get from defeating Francis Ngannou again. It's just they're going in rotation right now. You know what I'm saying? He's the next up. Real talk. He's the next in line. Francis Ngannou for a rematch. So, okay, let's just say Stipe beats him. All right. People would definitely want to see John Jones step in there with Stipe because he's a man. He went in there and defeated DC twice. right? And this blossomed into a trilogy off a possible rivalry of John Jones and DC at light heavyweight. That never, really materialized the way it did because John Jones won both fights. But the beautiful part about what DC was able to do, he was only fighting at light heavyweight because his boy Cain Velasquez is a heavyweight, right? So when Cain finally retired, because he was injury prone and everything, he was able to get a solid shot by moving up. And what put him into a position for a trilogy, and that's what I like about, the mixed martial arts format, was that he knocked out Stipe. Now you think about this in boxing. If you're going up to fight somebody, you knock them out, they're always quick to say, "Oh, we don't want to do that." Unless you Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis was able to come back. You know what I'm saying? But check this out though. He knocked out Stipe in the first round, and they had a rematch. Stipe came back with a different game plan and stopped DC. So they said, "Okay, we both have 1-1. This is a rivalry that came out of nowhere." Stipe Miocic and DC. They come back for a trilogy, and Stipe stops him. That's how trilogy is supposed to blossom. I mean, you go up there and face the champ, boom, you knock him out. You don't say, "Oh, he ain't getting a rematch. I knocked him out in the first round. Fuck all that. I knocked him out." No. He gave him a rematch, man. And Dana White don't play that runaway shit. Just like John Jones and DC. John Jones used to come off suspension and get an immediate title shot, dog. Unfucking believable. But J8, man, good question once. I mean, good statement once again, man. But John Jones is not even close to retiring, in my opinion. I think he really wants to pick up the heavyweight strap, defend it several times, and then come out and then leave the sport. Seriously. If John Jones is able to reign and dominate the heavyweight division, to everyone that's listening, it's going to be very few arguments that he is the GOAT of mixed martial arts. I'm serious. It's going to be a small argument that he isn't the GOAT of mixed martial arts. Because right now, a lot of people, they want to say Khabib, okay? But Khabib's resume, at the end of the day, doesn't stack up to John Jones, period. So back to Derek Lewis and Curtis Blade. They have a huge road ahead of them. The only goal for them, the only thing they're trying to accomplish right now in their career is to get a championship damn title shot and win. But God damn it, it's tough when you are evolving your game late. It's tough when DC had to deal with his alpha. DC's alpha was John Jones at light heavyweight. Now the alpha has moved up to the heavyweight division, and this motherfuckers that was dreading John Jones moving up. Finally, John Jones is in the house. Well, so a little bit. He's outside the window peeking in. So now you have Stipe Miocic has proven that he is a legitimate, bona fide, multi-time heavyweight champion. You can't deny that. He's beat the heavy-handed punching Francis Ngannou when they was hyping him up. He beat one of the GOATs of mixed martial arts, Daniel Cormier. Seriously. DC is I'm serious. He's one of the GOATs. He ain't the GOAT. He's one of the legends of the sport. Real talk. And the reason why I say that is because him coming over from Strikeforce, him coming to the UFC, shaped the way he is, the soft body composition, and just working on his motherfucking hands the way he did. But if it was to come down to it, let's just say John Jones come back and fight Stipe Miocic. That's going to be another solid name on John Jones' resume, right? I'm not saying it's going to be a walkover. I'm just saying it's going to be a damn good fight. Because Stipe has proven that he can fight any style. He's proven it. It will be a tough fight for John Jones to step in there with Stipe. Especially if Stipe is coming off a win against Francis Ngannou and then faces John Jones out of retirement. It's going to be tough, man. It's gonna be tough for John Jones. John Jones only has one blemish on his record. It's not from a loss. It's not from him being defeated. It's just from him bludgeoning Matt Hamill with elbows, and he landed an illegal strike. That's it. You've heard me say it time and time again. That's it. Yeah, the third fight was a barn burner. You're right, man. I agree. That third fight was absolutely on fire. What I liked about it is the fact that I don't like sometimes when fighters, turn into a stand-up game and it gets a little boring because, they just want to feint from distance, and try to see who's gonna bite on what, and then, act like they're gonna throw some kicks. It was none of that with these guys. Like, it was straight up the motherfucking New York Stock Exchange up in that bitch. These motherfuckers was goddamn running. I'm talking about running the fade, dog. It was very exciting to watch how Daniel Cormier was having success with Stipe Miocic. Pretty much doing the same thing he did in the second fight. Stipe made changes, man. Stipe broke him down. And what people laughed at with DC because he was getting away with it was his bread basket. People's like looking at this dude's like, how can a dude like that? This and why don't anybody go to the motherfucking body? John Jones did. John Jones went to the body. But the way he was able to stop DC was that he got him so used to trying to block certain strikes that he set him up with another one he wasn't expecting. That was the same thing Stipe Miocic did. He started digging those hooks to the body. I mean, I'm like, God dang, Stipe, he has boxing experience. He started digging in the bread basket, grabbing a handful of dough, grabbing Popeye's drumsticks. He was like saying, DC, you ain't gonna make another Popeye's damn commercial ever after I'm done with your motherfucking midsection. Fuck all that. Red beans and rice falling out. Stuck him with another hook. A damn freshly made biscuit fell out. Man, he was digging in DC, man. He broke him down. That's legendary. That's GOAT type shit Stipe was able to do. I can look at that fight all the time, man. Just to the point to actually, kind of place a little bit more scrutiny to the eye test with when Stipe decided to make that change, when he got the reaction he was looking for, when he initially went to the body and he heard something and he seen something, and he said, "Shit, fuck it, I'm gonna go there again." And then he was getting a reaction. Now, okay, this is real. He ain't faking. I'm hurting him. Boom, stuck him again. And he ended up damn breaking DC down and getting a stoppage. That's big. That's crazy. Look at their 3 fights. All of the fights have been stoppages. All of the fight has been stoppages between these two, between DC and Stipe. All of them. Except the last one. My fault. Except the last one. I had to double check that. Except the third one. And, that's what people have to understand. The first and second one, both stoppages in a rubber match, and then it went to a decision. But it almost looked like a fucking stoppage because when it came down to it, Stipe was having success with DC. You know what I'm saying? So I got to give him his props. But ultimately, drifting off the topic, Derrick Lewis, man, and Curtis Blades. I'm gonna be honest with you when it comes to Curtis Blade, right? Curtis Blade, in my opinion, man, is a big dude. Like he weighed in like at 259 yesterday to Derrick Lewis's 262, I believe, 262. It's just Curtis Blade, man. Like he has the body structure. He's a big dude, but he's not as exciting. Like Curtis Blade will never be a superstar. Look, he's not gonna blossom into a superstar like Kamaru Usman at welterweight. Kamaru Usman just came out of nowhere, not from his really, because he lacked the trash talking, but he let his performances speak, and then he had those little sound bites and facial expressions, and people started taking him serious when he stopped Kobe Covington. People start taking him serious. Like, damn, we really need to pay attention to Kamaru Usman. He's serious. You know what I'm saying? Hey, pay attention to the fight, man. I'm going for Derek the Beast Lewis. I like the guy. During the floods over there in Texas, he was driving his truck around helping people. I like Derek the Beast Lewis, especially that classic one-liner that he told Ronda Rousey after he went up there and defeated Matt. Was it Matt Brown? Oh, not Matt Brown. Travis Brown, I believe. It was hilarious, man. He shot his shot at Ronda Rousey, man, just because it was a domestic situation that happened. Anyway, George Elias, what's good? Salute to you. He's a Broner too weak for 47, but too big for 40. I don't think Broner. The good thing about it, I don't think Broner is too weak for 47. He just needs to learn how his style fits in the 147-pound division right now. Because the reason why I say that, he's never been stopped. Even at fighting at 47 with the big names, Sean Porter didn't stop him. I mean, let's be honest, man. Manny Pacquiao didn't stop him. Let's be honest. I mean, Adrian Broner, in the time of his most memorable fight, Marcus Maidana, he wasn't stopped. So you have to credit him with having a different type of toughness with him, about him, but also, blame him for not really being disciplined outside the ring. You know how much gift that you have to be undisciplined out the ring and you're fighting on the elite level, right? And you go in there and fight, and you fight through adversity, even though you didn't have a full training camp the way you're supposed to. When I say full training camp, I'm talking about taking it 150% serious. You working on your shit. Your nutrition is disciplined. You're not drinking, smoking. And for him to work through that shit and finish to the final bell is amazing. But now, this is going to be the determining factor with AB. We don't know how much he drunk. AB said he was drinking. He said he's done drinking. We don't know how much the alcohol, because alcohol can destroy somebody from the inside out. They can get the six pack, they can drop the weight and look good from the outside. But we don't know what he was drinking. We don't know everything that is consistent with his deconditioning phase outside the ring. We don't know that shit. So we have to pay attention to how his performance is, how his cardio. We seen him down in Florida putting in the motherfucking work. You know what I'm saying? Looking good. I mean, he's did what Adrian Broner usually do. He returns to the camera, but this was a different type of Adrian Broner. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if the situation he's been getting into outside of court and the embarrassment he faced while he was on TV. But one thing I can say about AB, he never flipped the script. He's one of them solid dudes. He's going to be AB regardless. But I think at this stage in his life, don't quote me, but he might have turned the corner in his maturity. He might. We're going to see once he faces Santiago tonight. We're going to see what the maturity is. Like, if he gets hurt and start doing some theatrical shit like he did to Marcus Maidana, dry humping and all that, I'm like, if he lose focus and just start doing some other shit that's not even trying to help him win, I was like, well, he's the same dude. But if he really buckled down, like he was coming, he was trying to gather himself against Marcus Maidana and stay focused and disciplined. No showboating, straight to the point, get the victory from an undefeated fighter like Santiago. I say, all right, cool. Then you talk your shit in the post-fight conference. Now you talk your shit. Who's next? That's what I want to see from AB. I want to see a solid performance. I want to see him go in here and dance. Let his hands dance. Let the motherfucking hands play the instrument, goddammit. Let that shit play the instrument. Don't just keep the motherfucker in the case. We seen that already. Let the drums out. Pull the drums out, man. Let's go. But I feel you. I know where you coming from with that 407. I get it. Mitch, shout to Joe Rogan for casually saying, I understand after Lewis said my balls was hot. You know, Joe Rogan, man, hey, I don't know what the fuck he was talking about, to be honest. I'm not even gonna lie, dog. I don't know. It's no expectation for AB. If you expected him to get a 4-round KO, you might be disappointed. I never mentioned KO because, once again, I'm not trying to play the same instrument that we've heard before. The violin, the strings have popped on that motherfucker. Now we're waiting for the damn drama. I want the drums out that bitch. I want to hear the beat. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear motherfucker coming to battle. I want to hear him, let his hands do the talking this time around. Not motherfuckers sitting in the seat or sitting at home and like, oh shit. Oh man, this Manny Pacquiao shit again. God damn it, man. We just tired of seeing this mother. I mean, listen, it's gonna be so many people that's gonna boost up Adrian Broner if he goes in there and shines, and there's gonna be so many people who dog him if he goes in there and just have a low punch output. That's just the way it is. The boxing community, they can be some untrustworthy fans, disloyal at any given moment. Believe that shit. Let's hope AB stay away from Regis for a few fights. That'd be a good fight, though. That'd be a good fight. That would be a good fight, man. But the only dilemma that we're looking at there, JA, is the scales, bro. We have to wait. We have to see can he make the scales first. And from where it looked, with him having to modify the weight for this bout right here, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? Seriously, what does that say? It says a lot. I ain't gonna lie. It says a lot. Hold on for a second. Hey, people, I got to go to this Zoom meeting with these promoters. I'll see you tonight. Y'all stop in, open invitation for everyone fight night. Y'all be sure to drop through. You know what I'm saying? World Combat Sports, I'm out.